I'll sort of be like, oh, hello. One of those bits, yeah.
Is that a good pen?
Oh.
Hi.
One of those.
Can you tell me a little bit about Cabin in the Woods?
Oh, nice, yeah. Cabin in the Woods is about 5 friends that go to a cabin in the woods for a weekend, and bad things happen to a lot of people. It's an amazing movie. It really is. I think it's one of the most entertaining movies I've ever seen. It was one of the best scripts I've ever read.
Because you're in it, or?
yeah. No. I really love it. It's an amazing, funny, crazy horror film. It's wonderful.
I was down at South by Southwest, and I went.
Oh, did you go to the premiere?
I didn't go to the premiere.
Oh, okay.
I was at a party, but I really wanted to see it, and everyone was talking about it. So
yeah,
it's been getting huge buzz.
You went to the party, you said?
I went to a party, not the party.
Okay. Yeah. I missed it because I'm doing a play. I'm doing Death of a Salesman on Broadway, and it killed me because I love this movie so much. I was dying to be there, but if I had to miss it for one thing, that was the thing to miss it for.
Well, I finally did get to see the film in Philadelphia, and it's been it was one of the best films that I've ever seen, I think.
Yeah, there you go. So you agree,
I totally agree.
yeah, it's amazing.
I went in expecting Evil Dead, and I came out.
Yeah.
My mind was like completely blown. And
well, I had actually,
totally awesome.
I'm a big horror film fan, but I'm embarrassed to say I'd never seen the Evil Dead movies until this movie. And Drew, when we shot it in Vancouver, when we all got up there, Drew gave us a bunch of different horror films to watch, like Halloween, the first Friday the 13th, all the Evil Deads, and I think he was trying to pump us up and kind of get us in the mindset that here we are making a great horror film. Like, we wanted to make a classic, and we wanted to be a part of that great horror film tradition and the canon, so to speak. Mm-hmm. But seeing Evil Dead, at first you're like, my God, we're ripping this movie off completely, but you're not. We're not, and it's an ode to all those films. And I know that Joss and Drew were frustrated with the way horror films were going, that sort of torture porn and the violence for violence sake, the kind of gratuitous sort of nature that it was sort of leaning towards. And I think there's a lot of homage to the classic horror films in this, but also to contemporary horror. And it's just it's all over the place. It's very funny. There's, I think, a science fiction element. So yeah, there's obviously an Evil Dead thing going, but it's so much more than that. Yeah.
Have you ever seen Dead Alive?
No. That's Peter Jackson. Yeah.
It's awesome.
No, I need to get that one.
You should watch it.
I'm a big Romero fan. I love all the original zombie movies, and I love Shaun of the Dead. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to relate this film to other films, and Scream comes up a lot, but I do think movies like Shaun of the Dead or even Ghostbusters are kind of in this sort of realm of Cabin in the Woods. That it is so funny, but there's lots of good scares, and it's very inventive. It's unlike anything I've ever seen before. Truly.
Cool. Did you take the role very seriously? And
I did. As funny as it is, as funny as the character is, and he's the slacker stoner, I did take it very seriously. I was pretty nuts about it because, I thought the script was so great. And I thought that this could be potentially a really breakout role for me. Like, this could be a very important, thing for my career. And I had a lot of faith in it and a lot of confidence, but I took it extremely seriously. I was probably healthier than I've ever been when I was up there. I was running like 12 miles a day. I was boxing with Chris Hemsworth. Like, I don't know how that was helping the part, but I just was, I was kind of a shut-in in a way. It was all about the movie. And as much as he's the slacker stoner, and I got to have a lot of fun with that, and when you have a role like that, who's literally intoxicated or whatever, you're allowed to you have a lot of freedom. You can really screw around, and there was a lot of improv and ad-libbing, but also just there was no sort of wrong choice Marty could make, because he's the wild card. He's the fifth wheel, he's comic relief, but he's the guy that is sort of suspicious of what's going on. He's the first to put his finger on the kind of the pulse and sort of expose the situation for what it is. And so in that sense, I could have a lot of fun sort of playing with the idea of picking up on things. He's like Shaggy meets Scooby, you know what I mean? He's kind of both of them. But I also took it seriously because I wanted to make him a real person, and I wanted to love these people, love his friends. And so I saw kind of loyalty in Marty, like a sort of dog-like fidelity, like a real deep sort of love and sticking with these guys. And And so that was important to sort of ground him in something, because I would go really far. There's moments where it's almost cartoonish, the kind of level of high stone that Marty is, and there's some moments where, you know, I lock my car but the window's down and it's one of these locks, you know, on just the door frame, you know. So it's just sort of like, where is this guy? But at the same time, the love was all very real, you know.
That's cool. So you, I guess this film's going to change the bong industry a little bit too.
Yeah. Everyone is talking more and more about it. You know, I wish I kept that bong. I really do like to keep things from sets and films that I did, and that's just such a great memento. And everyone's asking me, where is the bong? And that's totally something I would have taken to use or not.
Are you sure you didn't take it?
Yeah. No, right, yeah. I'm like, God, I did. Yeah, I forgot, man. No, it was a functioning bong. I mean, you could drink out of it, coffee, whatever, and you could smoke out of it. I had to go to like a pot school. Yeah. A lot of the other actors, like Chris Hemsworth was learning how to ride a motorcycle. Jesse Williams, Kristen Connolly were doing scuba diving, for they have some stuff underwater, and I would go roll joints for like 3 hours. I'm not kidding. I would just smoke different types of fake pot, you know, so they could find what worked for me, you know, what I liked, and, you know, what my preference was, sativa, indica. No, but seriously, I really would spend all day smoking pot and rolling joints. It was really weird. Not, you know, fake marijuana, but we had to figure out what was going to work best, you know, so... But that's a bizarre thing to do when you're, you know, filming a movie and you want to be like, you know, swords and shooting. You know, you think of all the things people like learn for movies, and rolling joints does not come to mind. It's like not at the top of the list. But it was a lot of fun though, man. It was great. But yeah,
you could create a Kickstarter and sell pre-orders of these things.
Yeah, well, I think, you know, supposedly it was a prototype, so they were developing the bong. So I heard it cost $5,000 to really like figure this thing out. But I think if they did mass produce it, I'm sure it would be, you know, they'd find a cheaper way. But there was, the version that I used as a weapon was actually a sort of foam. It was just sort of the look of it, but I could actually hit zombies with it. You know, and that's what I should have taken, because that's like almost like a stuffed animal. I could give that to like my kid one day.
It's like the new lightsaber. You're the new Jedi.
Yeah. Well, no, there was a lot of that, because it, you know, you can swing it out. You know what I mean? It's a coffee thermos turn, you know, so that it gets extension. Yeah. So we did a lot. We had a lot of fun with that idea of the kind of the lightsaber, and yeah, no,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking more about that. I feel like I wish I got to use it more, because the handle is also kind of the I'm not familiar with all the lingo, but the sort of stem, you know what I mean? It's the hand. Could have stabbed some zombie eyes with that or something. Yeah.
Well, I think everyone should go see the film.
I think so too. Honestly, I think it's one of the better. I mean, it's the best movie I've been in. It's amazing. I mean, it's so much fun. It's so crazy. I think it's great for repeat viewing. I mean, it's, you know, I really do think this movie is wonderful. So yeah, I'm glad you liked it, and I think everyone else will.
I'm gonna pan out now.
Okay.
All right, ready?
Nice fountain. I had that put in yesterday.
Are you eating at any of the restaurants in Philly?
Yeah, I'm going to a few. I'm trying to get a lot in. I want to hit up Amada, Paisanos. I already went to Park and Village Whiskey, and the ice cream spot Capagito. Yeah. I want to hit Jim's. I've got a lot of other recommendations.
You used to go to John's Roast Pork.
John's Roast Pork. Yeah, I've been there back in the day. I've been to Philly a lot of times. I love it. But cool. John's Roast Pork too. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Sweet.